Welcome to the Off-Brand Archives, the Book of Halter. This game is rated M for a mature audience. It contains violent actions, coarse language, sexual references, and mild drug use. If you or a child should not wish to watch this, please click off the video. Sorry for the delay, myself, and wondering why there'll be a couple of hour episodes. I will just say to myself now, we had to wait for Silver. Alright. Cool. Anyway.
Yeah,
You
what we've all
last
been waiting
asked a question, and now you have a speech.
Hold on. Wasn't it that the rest of them went off to a side room?
Except for one.
Yes, okay.
That was a deliberation of a different matter.
A different matter.
Yeah, which I think was brought up by a different player.
I do remember Solar talking about how Lord Onyx is not actually Lord Onyx.
Not at the moment.
That's it. That's what they're deliberating on.
Okay. Would the speech be more impactful if we waited until they all came back from deliberating that?
It would be... Just stay the fuck down, Cat. Jesus Christ.
The cat desires
fucks up.
attention.
Cat just wants food. And it's an hour away from his fucking dinner time.
Okay, he wants food and attention. Have you never had a girl? Oh, wait, you haven't.
Do I have a girlfriend?
Yeah, who's like half the way across the world.
Yeah.
Maybe even all the way.
Constantly needs food. Not so much about the attention.
Is this the American one or the European one?
Is there a difference?
Is there a difference?
Quite a bit, actually.
They both require sustenance.
American or European? The Americans is just like the...
Why are you telling me I'm peeing? Can you see what I'm doing?
Oh, yeah.
Well, at least you're not rushing to the bathroom.
Wait, are Americans just redneck Europeans?
No. Ew.
No.
Who the fuck would say that?
Apparently it's Suki.
He thought he was onto something there. Don't let him cook.
I'm thinking of something, I don't know what.
Anyway, do you wish to wait? You'll have to make your decision known to the elder.
Yeah, why don't you go and tell the elder that we should wait until the rest of the council steps back in after they're done deliberating? I think that's
Yes. The elder himself chuckles before whispering to the young one that talks. As the speaker speaks out. It is a very amusing idea that you believe that others have a say in the final choice of this. But if that is what you wish, he will allow so. And with that, you all wait awkwardly for an hour before the elders exit. And they're baffled to see you all here still. As they take their places.
H pose 2. Showed.
The most elder of the bat ponies stands and walks up to you, Silver. His walk is that of, at any moment, you are sure he could collapse, but he keeps himself upright in a more or less dignified manner, as he just has a look at you before walking into the same deliberation room, the young individual following suit, as you now have the council to talk to. The main seat is now empty.
Why, Ryder?
Why? Because he needs to go to the toilet.
Hey, speeches are made for an audience. The bigger, the better. But okay.
If you want to wait for him, you can. You just need to make it known to the rest of the council that you're waiting for him. Or even ask the young dude where the two of them are heading, because you don't know where they're heading.
Fuck, this is why I hate taking center stage and shit. This is why I prefer single player games. This is a multiplayer forced co-op game.
Alright, you choose to let him go past. And you're going to wait for the bigger audience, because that's what you're asked for. At some point, the elder returns and takes a seat at his throne. As the young one listens to the elder's whispers. You may speak, changeling.
Okay. Let's fucking get into this.
Swearing is not allowed in the council. No. I know that was
Right,
a
shit,
mess
that
up.
shit,
Let's
that
get into that.
Alright. Let's see. Alright, let's just fucking send it. Silver's going to go and say, Silver's going to go and say, you asked me of my plans. But to answer that, we first must establish both where we are and whither we are tending, so we could better judge what to do and how to do it. We are now far into the second year since the policy was initiated, with the avowed object and confident promise of putting an end to inequality agitation. What the fuck did you post?
I didn't post anything. That was the end of the poll.
The fucking poll. Jesus Christ.
Kick a child
God
so
damn it.
hard that the flight 5 feet.
Don't fucking read it out loud.
I mean, it's better than dying 3 days after a nuke.
Fucking Modern Warfare 2008 classic be like. Okay, so where was I? Continuing with the speech of putting an end to inequality agitation. Under the operation of that policy, that agitation has not only not ceased, but has constantly augmented. In my opinion, it will not cease until a crisis shall have been reached and passed. A house divided against itself cannot stand. And I believe that this government cannot endure, permanently half second-class citizens and half-breed creatures. I do not expect the untamed lands to be dissolved. I do not expect the house to fall, but I do expect it will cease to be divided. It will become all one thing or all the other. Either the opponents of inequality will arrest the future spread of it and place it where the public mind shall rest in the belief that it is in the course of ultimate extinction. Or its advocates will push it forward till it shall become alike lawful in all the lands, old as well as new, north as well as south. Have we no tendency to the latter condition? The working points of the untamed empire are first, that the citizens of each city shall be entitled to all privileges and immunities of citizens in the first untamed land. Secondly, that subject to the doctrine of the first untamed empire, neither liberty nor a foreign crown can include inequality in any untamed territory. Thirdly, commerce and service are to be prioritized over one's origin in service to the empire and its people. This shows exactly where we now are, and partially also whither we are tending. It will throw additional light on the latter to go back and run the mind over the string of historical facts already stated. Several things will now appear less dark and mysterious than it did when they were transpiring. The people were to be left perfectly free, subject only to the laws of the land, and yet Dugout has yet to be recognized as its own land, with its own leaders, instead treated as nothing more than refugees fleeing and hiding in the woodlands. Instead, the Untamed Empire chooses to acknowledge Dugout as its rightful city that has been founded and located in these lands for generations. Welcome or unwelcome, a decision is probably coming, and will soon be upon all of you, unless the power of the present political dynasty shall be met and overthrown. To meet and overthrow the power of that dynasty is the work now before all those who would prevent that consummation. That is what we have to do. But how can we best do it? Our cause, then, must be entrusted to and conducted by its own undoubted friends, those whose hooves are free, whose hearts are in the work. Fuck, I had a fucking burp. Whose hearts are in the work, who do care for the result of strange, discordant, and even hostile elements. The Untamed Empire gathered from the four winds and formed and fought the battle through, under the constant hot fire of a disciplined, proud, and pampered enemy who wishes to ensure that those they choose are allowed true freedom while the rest beg for scraps. Did we brave all that to falter now? Now, when that same enemy is wavering, dissevered, and belligerent. Over 80 ago, your fathers brought forth on the northern continent a new nation, conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all creatures. Wait, Meta, hold on. Maybe we should have fucking worded that one different.
You have 5 minutes to do so, real quick.
Okay, I add a bit of flavor to make it sound a little bit fucking better. Back to the speech. Over 80 years ago, your fathers brought forth on the northern continent a new nation, conceived in liberty, and dedicated to the proposition that all creatures under the night are created equal. Now we are engaged in a great civil war, testing whether this nation, or any nation so conceived and so dedicated, can long endure. We are met on the great battlefield of that war. This result is not doubtful. We shall not fail. If we stand firm, we shall not fail. Wise counsels may accelerate, or mistakes delay it. But sooner or later, the victory is to be sure to come to this nation. Shall have a new birth of freedom, and that government of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from this earth. Meta done. Okay, there you go. There's a fucking speechwriter.
All right, roll me a persuasion check with double advantage.
Okay, glad I fucking pulled out the character sheet. I gotta get a new fucking mouse. Okay, so let's see. R/2d20. That's one advantage, plus modifier. Just only fat fingered the fucking 4. Plus 5 for the double. So that's 33.
All right. There is murmuring from the council. Finally, the elder stands, and he, as he stands, the rest stay quiet. His voice is as weak as it sounds, but has been brought forth by the spell that most of you know as thaumaturgy. You speak of a quality that you will give us, but what tithes will we have to pay?
Ryder, his question was how many lives would they have to pay? Is that correct?
No, what tithes will he have to
What
pay?
tides?
Yeah.
Tides. Okay, glad I asked. Tides. Fuck. Let me think. Tides. That's like taxes and shit like that.
In a way, yes.
Just general payments.
Payments. In Rome, I'm pretty sure one of the tithes was that
Salt.
every place that was conquered, they would have to give over one of the sons of each family. That would then be taken away from that land and be trained to become fighters for Rome. And at some point, those fighters would then be able to start their own family after they retire, sort of thing. And so on and so forth. Basically, tithes can be pretty much anything, as long as it is a payment that is not unreasonable. From taxes to warriors to general goods. Something always is given. Something is always taken. And in this case, he is asking what is the price of not only being considered citizens, but being considered natives of this realm. If they are to follow you, they need to know what comes next.
Fuck, Meta, let me think. Besides the obvious loyalty, what is it? Taxes from commerce.
The question obviously is how much are they willing to pay for their true and immediate freedom. Huh.
Ryder, what do we have it in Vegas regarding the taxes? Is it like a set percentage for each transaction?
It was like 10%.
Okay. So, besides the obvious loyalty, this is besides the obvious loyalty, a tax of 10% on commerce transactions, and one child from each family to be trained and bolster the army of the Empire to defend from threats both within and without. Does that sound good?
I would personally change one thing about that.
What?
One able-bodied child, because they
Yes,
might just
able-bodied.
send any child to you. And it might very well be better to also say the firstborn child, because the firstborn is always more regarded than the rest. Usually. Especially if they don't plan to have another, giving over that sort of power would show loyalty. However, that is really up to you. An able-bodied child would probably be the best answer. No. From every family is a steep ask right now.
Especially considering the prominence that they've put on the next generation due to the previous agreement.
So that would have, you would, with your 33, you have a chance to be able to convince them, but it would drop your advantage for the next persuasion down to just double. Sorry, not double, just, yeah, double 20
Regular.
thing. Regular advantage. That's it. That's the word. Don't mind me, I just had a lot of blood taken today, and it did not go well. I have to get a blood test again on Wednesday. So
Okay.
I'm kind of fucking pissed about that.
If you want to see what I'm writing out for this response, it's in the fucking speech. It's at the very bottom.
That's fair. While you're writing that, I'm gonna get an apple.
Yep, go ahead.
I'm currently eating an apple.
That's gay that you're eating your brother.
I was just coming back to make that joke.
I'm not even going to grace that with a response.
That's fair.
Though my joke was going to be much more towards this idea. Music, which was, man, you're getting into cannibalism. Your brother piss you off that much.
See, that's what I. That's the eating that I probably would do in strenuous circumstances.
Bro, fucking put some snow on the ground, you would get to those extraneous circumstances in within 3 minutes. We've run out of sweet tea! Eat Dash. You just hear fucking Dash.
I mean,
in
he is the
background,
one who's always
"But I'm
fucking
not
hoarding
eating
the damn
sweet."
shit.
That would be funny.
He is the one who's always hoarding that shit.
Let's see. Meta, besides loyalty to the Empire, a tax of 10% on all commerce to fund the materials for the country, along with an able bodied child from each family that can spare it currently. I acknowledge your situation, but I ask that you spare any that you can to help bolster our forces in the short term, but when the war is won, I expect the proper tithing to be met without issue. Setting expectations, but also, compromising on the immediates.
This is
Music,
up
what do you
to-
think? No, Ryder, go ahead.
This is up to the players right now. I added my 2 bob.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's good.
All right, Ryder. Silver's going to go and say, besides loyalty to the Empire, a tax of 10% on all commerce to fund the materials for the country, along with an able-bodied child from each family that can spare it currently. I acknowledge your situation, but I ask that you spare any that you can to help bolster our forces in the short term. But when the war is won, I expect the proper tithing to be met without issue.
Roll persuasion check with advantage.
Just one advantage.
I did say if you brought the children into this. What did anyone think of the children?
I am trying to pull a Metal Gear right here. That's a nat 20.
Yep.
And yes, I am proficient.
Yeah, I know. You got the same roll with your double advantage as you got with your regular advantage, but you also got a nat 20. Your conditions are harsh, but not unexpected. We shall deliberate. Return to us. As he looks at all of them. In 3 days. And prepare to sign this treaty. You are dismissed, child of terror.
Silver will give a nod. Not a nod. What the fuck am I looking for? It is not a bow as servitude, but it's the royalty about like how royalty meets royalty of another country. You know what I'm talking about, Ryder?
Curtsy?
This?
I don't think curtsy is it. Give me a second. Hold on, let me Google it. I think that's it, but I think that's still a bow of. It's too deep of a bow. I don't know. There's a reason why I didn't fucking want to go with noble like Solar did or like music did, because it's just like the inner workings and shit like that. It's always a nuance.
Doesn't Twilight do like some sort of bow that is after she becomes a princess and she bows to like a fellow, like it's not Cadence, it's like Celestial or Luna?
Yeah, but they bow to one another because they're equals.
You are
see.
very much in the presence of someone who would consider you not greater than themselves.
But of equal at minimum.
Yeah. Until you can prove yourself that you're a worthy successor to
Are
Lord
ruling over them.
Onyx.
Looking it up, I don't know if I fucking trust that. One of them says, Royal Highness, a Royal Highness does not courtesy to another Royal Highness. Etiquette expert Micah Meir previously told People. And then another one says references to our members of the royal family are made to His Royal Highness as appropriate. What the fuck does that even mean?
Is it this one?
That's more of a casual. Fuck, I don't know. No, that's the People. Royalty, bow to royalty. In royal is bow and courtesy to the monarch.
Totally this one. Ah, here we go.
No, that's the definitely the service one. Okay, we'll just go with the second one where it's more of a head bow. And then Silver will head out to leave.
Right. As for you, Unicorn from the north, the council wishes to talk to you more. The rest may leave if they wish.
So, do you want people to stay with you? So, do you want people to stay with you?
I'm good.
Nedra is going to T-pose and slide through the floor. Because he's
Yeah,
not
you
here
just
today.
hear the sound of stone being dragged across stone, even though it scales on wood.
Yep.
That sounds like
and
tons of fun.
Decimus will be following you, Silver, as
All right.
he and he did pledge his loyalty to you, so that is where it is currently.
Okay, it works.
Alright, so
Whatever might this be about?
And Atsuki, are you going to stick around? Meanwhile, Atsuki in real life. Beep, 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 beep.
Sounds about right. His mic's probably fucking muted, doesn't realize it. Also, Ryder, I sent you a DM. Answer that whenever you can. Not an immediate priority. Zero, you here?
Zero. Default. He's going to follow you down because he's got something he wants to do at the altar at the base of the tree.
Hey, what was that?
He will follow you because he's got something to do at the altar. I know that that's something he wanted to do last week.
Right. To go and bless his amulet.
Yep. Or could it accidentally curse it? Do-do-do-do-do-do-do.
How bad can I be? I'm just doing what comes naturally.
The council will now speak directly to music. We have come to a consensus about you. You reek of royalty from the north. Renounce your royalty and embrace the royalty below. Be part of the untamed lands.
I already renounced my royalty long ago. I am not of Equestria any longer, neither am I of the Untamed Lands. I am of the Underworld now.
That might be an issue.
The underworld. Explain yourself.
Three times have I died and come back. The final time was at a price. I serve the underworld, bringing back those that have escaped. The one previously in my position has absconded. He is the main force that I fight against at the current moment.
And who is this one?
I'm sorry, I was eating an apple.
Same.
He is a hellhound who goes by the name Lucifer. He previously pledged an allegiance to Lord Onyx. However, as soon as Lord Onyx started digging too deep, he had him replaced, with no one else knowing, by the aforementioned Wrath. Was his name Wrath?
Yep.
Pretty sure it was Wrath. By the aforementioned Wrath.
And you are saying that this being now holds power.
Indeed.
So the fires of hell have taken you.
Or I have taken them.
Any who serve the underworld have been taken by the flames of damnation. It is certainly a path that was not expected of you, Unicorn, since your blood smells of royalty from the north. We offer you a new proposal. Any information we get of these hellhounds that have broken rank, we will have them here. But in return, we expect hell to protect us as much as the Untamed Empire shall. If that means you must wage war as a one stallion army, you will do so for us. Prove to us that you are not like those from the north.
Very well.
This war shall claim many lives, and it shall leave us defenseless. We need to make sure that you will be able to keep us from collapsing within. Drag the damned to their doom. Let the innocent live. That is all, Unicorn. No contracts for you. Just your word. If it holds
I give my
merit,
word.
we shall see. Dismissed, Unicorn.
And with that, I shall transform into a bird and fly down.
Alright, cool. You guys have 3 days here. What do you want to do? I've got a Disney song stuck in my head now.
Oh,
Oh, did I just hear a Tiki?
wait.
Oh my god, Zero back?
I can't lie. Kind of shut my eyes and then I just woke up.
Yep, thought so.
I know how that feels.
Called it.
Now I have a
Atsuki,
keyboard face.
Atsuki, if you want, you can go back to sleep. It's okay. Your character's gonna just go get their thing blessed, and that's about all I know your character's gonna want to do. And we'll be able to, and I'd imagine that's basically the only thing you want to do that day.
Yeah, and also probably you also pray and stuff.
Yep. So you're going to become a clergy member for the next 3 days whilst everyone is here.
Yeah, they know where to find me.
Alright, cool.
Nice. Hope you like that.
Penis?
I don't know what his name is. Only
The meme?
that. Yeah.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. However, I did send it to Butter, and Butter asked why.
And
I
where's your
just
pillar
said
fly?
because I said because Zero felt like it, and he said that's no excuse.
Yeah. I don't know why, but I'm happy about one thing: the mouth.
Oh, beep.
All right. Well, night.
We're knocked.
Knocked.
Good and
Oh.
knocked.
Yeah.
That's a first. That Zero died first.
Yep.
Ryder, I'm gonna DM you something.
Alright. So, what do you two wish to do for the next 3 days?
Can't think of anything at the moment.
Alright, you're just gonna relax.
Yeah, sure.
Alright, and
Ryder, will they be making the contract, or is Silver making the contract?
they're making the contract.
They're making it. Okay.
Roll an insight if you wish.
Very well. Fuck. I really should go and get like gifted or some shit like that. 21. Thank God.
Alright, so anyone? Why it's
21.
going to take them 3 days, you are not sure, but you believe that the elders are true to their word, that they will be writing this contract fairly. You're just not sure why it's going to take so long.
Hey, Ryder.
Yeah.
How many days away is Liberty?
More than 3.
More than 3.
Even if one was dashing the entire
That
time?
reminds me. Speaking of travel times, that reminds me that I should get a jar of a little bit of dirt and put it into my jar.
So each day is 24 miles. One, two, three. It's actually 3 days away.
Yeah.
Though that does not counter in the fact that you're not on roads, you're actually in wooded area.
Yeah. But speaking of travel times, it does remind me that I do actually need to get some dirt in my jar. And that's not a euphemism for anything.
I've got a
Not
jar
tr-
of dirt. I've
I
got a
got
jar.
jar of
You know what?
dirt. I got jar of
Guys,
dirt.
if
I
you
got
need
jar
to
of
go and
dirt.
fucking do that bit, even if it's meta only, if
You
we
get
ever need to, we need to fast travel somewhere, and you're like, I have the perfect solution.
You get to Liberty,
Or if
take some
some
dirt, get out of Liberty, and then when you go back to Liberty, and Lucifer's just like, oh, you'll never get back in here, you'll be like, hey, look what I've got. I got jar of dirt. I got jar of dirt. I got jar of dirt. And guess what's inside it? And then just suddenly teleport behind him and beat the ever living shit out of him.
Let's see. Do I got anything that is good for passing the time or learning about stuff that may be helpful?
The city has many different places. It has blacksmiths, it has got general stores, it has got a museum.
A museum.
Yeah.
Oh, I'd like to check that out.
The Museum of Our Fallen God is what it's called.
Hmm.
A little discrediting, isn't it?
Well, they believe that Nightmare Moon was murdered. They believe that whatever's left of her essence is what is used to keep magic going. They don't actually know that she's currently stuck on the moon, because if they did, if people can summon demons and whatnot, do you think that they couldn't somehow summon a being who was trapped on the moon?
Yeah, Zero fucking summoned them last campaign all the time.
Exactly. So, answer, they believe Nightmare Moon is dead. But that her essence and her being are still out there, guiding them. She ascended basically from being a mortal to being immortal from death. As for Celestia, she's still on the mortal plane, therefore she is clearly not a god.
Clearly inferior.
Maybe she could class herself as a quasi-deity, or maybe even a demigod, but she is nowhere near the power of Nightmare Moon, in their opinion.
God, I gotta fucking shine in again. I fucking hate this shit.
Fuck do you spell satellite? God damn it. think that sounds for satellite. I'm just gonna go with it.
Yeah. Okay.
Thing that strikes you about the about that museum is they got a lot of things wrong just from what you're looking at. The Terror Hive apparently are worshippers of Nightmare Moon. When you know that the Hive didn't really care about the gods outside. They were too busy dealing with, pleasing the Queen, being commanded by the Queen, getting power from the War Priest. I hate how Vegas is spelled.
Why?
Because Vegas, I keep being dyslexic and putting Vugais.
What are you? Cajun?
No, I'm dyslexic and I come from a penal colony.
So you are Cajun?
No.
Yes, you said you're dyslexic and come from a penal colony. That's what Louisiana is. They're French and a penal colony. What more do you want? That is the exact description of it.
We're English and we come from an English penal colony.
Yeah, but you said you're dyslexic.
Yep. And we're sitting here with putting U's in most of our words because America took out most of the U's from the words because they don't care about you.
No, we just got rid of you.
It was superfluous.
Have you seen the French with their writing?
Yeah. Despite how much the British absolutely despise and wish ills against the French, they sure do love the fucking super. They sure do love the pointless letters and the food, which is weird.
It's because British people think beans on toast is a proper fucking meal.
Breakfast.
They still think it's a proper meal. That's not even as good as. That's not even good for a side dish.
What, you've never just cooked like eggs or something and just had that for breakfast?
I have.
It's basically the same fucking thing. It's just
It
a
is
quick,
not.
easy
It
breakfast.
is beans. You don't even have to heat the beans up. You can get them from a fucking can. You just go and put the bread in a toaster
that's what
for
they do.
like a minute, and you just pour beans on it. That's not a
That's-
fucking meal.
It's not a meal. It's a quick and easy breakfast. Because despite what
Nah.
the fucking people came up with, breakfast is not the most important meal of the day. That's a fucking hypothesis. At best.
You just say that because you don't actually fucking eat breakfast.
I mean, that's one thing, but also literally, it was come up with by the guy who owned Kellogg's, and then ran the idea behind some doctors, and were like, "Yeah, that'd make sense." And that was the most fucking scientific it ever got. So yeah,
It still can't be countered against because it is an important meal of the day. It's one of the most
it
important ones.
is.
Get a
The
nice
only
proper
reason
meal
why
on
it's
it.
important for me is because I have to have fucking like medications in the morning.
Yeah, I don't want to miss
Otherwise,
that.
otherwise I wouldn't eat breakfast because I don't want to wake up and have to do things.
Fair.
That's literally the only reason why I would not have breakfast if I could. It's because I'm lazy.
The thing is, mornings, which generally aren't the time that I first woke up, are generally the time where I feel the most productive. So it's not exactly a proper breakfast because a proper breakfast is what you've had shortly after waking up. But I do eat breakfast foods in the early morning, like pancakes or eggs.
Oh yes, your pancakes with water.
It's fucking what's it? It's the
You
fucking
can does not mean you should.
quick pancake batter shit, man. It's
Yeah,
totally
I
fine.
know.
It's water or milk on the fucking thing, and we don't have milk. Well, I do now, but that's just. Anyway, so I guess all of that information is what was in the museum,
That was what
and
he
I've got
could see, which is like the brief history and dugout. You now see why dugout didn't participate in the genocide of the Terror Hive
they were under
personally.
the impression
They're
that they
under the
were fellow
impression.
Nightmare Moon
Yep.
worshippers, and I do have dirt for dugout now.
Ooh. You dug out some dirt from dugout, so now you can teleport to dugout with your dirt of dugout.
Yeah,
Alright, just typing out the thing. Do you want to go visit any of the blacksmiths or any, like, shops in general? There is jewelers as well. This is you, by the
Let's
way.
see. Okay. Better question. What would I visit them for? Would I better go and find like weapons or something like that? But I got a good weapon that is leveling up.
Yep. There is a place where you could go to see your weapons. There's a blacksmith you can see not too far away. Called the Hidden Anvil.
Yeah, like there's a pun in here somewhere. Okay.
Um,
So checking out.
you go check it out.
Sure, I'll check it out since you pointed me in that direction.
Well, that's the first one you can see. That's close. The others are kind of not readable from where you are. There is no shopping district in this city. It is just very much everything's everywhere sort of thing. Um, as you head to the Hidden Anvil, inside, surprise, surprise, there's a bat pony.
A bat pony? I'd never believe it.
What can I do for you, sir?
Server's going to go and say, I was interested in looking at some of your wares.
Certainly. What sort of weapon are you after?
Uh, give me a fucking second. I think I got a list somewhere. Hold on. Uh, that's not it. Is it this? Right. Okay. So that we're looking for great swords. Silver is going to go and say, "Do you have any great swords in stock?"
Some would say I have the greatest. As he uh um he pulls out 3 great swords, placing them on the table. Each one currently wrapped in purple cloth. A deep purple.
Fuck, let me see how much money I got because I think I'm dead ass broke.
Finer swords. This side of the Empire.
Let me go and take a look at the swords, at the great swords.
Right, he will unfold them from the purple cloth. The first one is adamantine. The second is silver. And the last one seems to be Damascus. Each one has their own qualities. If you're worried about any were creatures, or lycanthrope as some call them, you can't go wrong with a silvered blade. Looking to do more damage to buildings? If you miss the swing on an enemy, you can always damage their property. Go for the adamantine. But you can't beat Damascus. Damascus is sharp. It cuts true, and it will always serve you right.
Fucking look up adamantine greatsword, and I immediately get Baldur's Gate shit. I have to fucking go back and put in D&D 5e.
Yep.
Okay, so adamantine one goes and gives bonus damage or always crits on objects. Is that correct?
It is not a +1.
So it's just auto crits on objects.
Yep.
Silver is what? Crits against were creatures?
It does not crit. It just is able to damage.
Then would damage them. Okay.
Yeah. Otherwise,
But I got
lycanthrope are immune to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing from either non-magical or silvered blades, basically.
okay. I can go and make a magic weapon, so I don't have to worry about that. Damascus, what's the buff on that one?
You would have to so meta-wise, I will not tell you, but you will have to roll me a perception check. If you get a high enough perception, I will get you to roll me a history check with... Oh wait, no, you're a weapons person, aren't you?
Yes, weapons dealer.
Yeah. Damascus, you know, is a art form that is hard to beat. Not many can do so, and it was something that wasn't advertised by your family. It is a +2 weapon.
A +2 weapon.
Yes, non-magical, but it is +2.
Non-magical +2.
Yeah, not everything is magical.
Okay. Silver will go and inquire and ask how much for the Damascus greatsword.
For the Damascus Greatsword, you're looking at 10,000 bits. Gold bits.
Give me a minute. Not that.
Materials are hard to come by these days, and Damascus is not an easy form of work. It requires a lot more material than some think. You are not only paying for the product, you are also paying for the years of continual hard work of the laborers who created it.
You said 10,000 gold pieces, right?
10,000 gold bits, yes. And he just told you that apparently material is hard to come by right now, so that's why it's so costly.
Silver is going to inquire for how much of a standard longsword for Damascus.
A standard longsword for Damascus, you're
Or
looking at
Damascus
8,000.
What's good? I'm not giving you your.
Ryder,
Yeah.
I know you're going to hate this and want to immediately shut it down.
Mhm.
But can I pull something from Baldur's Gate 3 regarding merchants?
What's that?
A trade.
A trade. What
A
are you
trade.
trying to trade?
So, the price of a Damascus longsword is 8,000. The greatsword is 10,000 gold, obviously.
Yep.
I have in my inventory 2 Damascus steel swords.
Right.
So that would be the equivalent worth of him selling 16,000 gold worth of Damascus swords.
Mm-hmm.
Would he be willing to go and trade me both his greatsword and 5,000 equivalent of gold in return for the 2 Damascus steel swords?
Oh, you're gonna have to ask. It's called roleplay.
I just wanted to at the very least ask if the option was available to roleplay.
There's only one way to find out.
You can't just ask God if someone's willing to negotiate.
Yes, the fuck I can,
you
because
stop-
he's in the call with
You
me.
stop. It's like, dear, may I ask one question, God?
Why?
Why?
Okay, Silver is going to go and ask, would you be interested in a trade deal?
A trade deal. Never thought of anyone who'd ask for that. What's the trade?
Silver is going to go and lead with, I have on me 2 Damascus swords, as he's going to go and pull out the hilt of 2 of them to show that he does have them. And I'm willing to trade them for you in return for both the great sword and 5,000 gold worth.
Now, I'm sure you're a man of great taste, as you have already gotten a few Damascus swords. But a Damascus longsword does not create a great sword, nor do 2 create a great sword. If I
There's
am
pretty
to
much like
sell,
twice as much material on a greatsword.
if I am to sell if I am to sell you these two, or this one greatsword, the only one I have, and someone who is willing to pay the actual price for it comes around, I will be out gold. It is far harder to sell used Damascus than new Damascus, and those swords, you may be able to make them look like they haven't been used, but we do not take favorably of taking full price for such antiques. You'll be able to do, say, 6,000 gold for the lot.
So they're saying that they'd be willing to pay 6,000 gold for the two Damascus steel swords.
Yep. You gotta remember that not everyone has such great tastes in armaments, and may or may not be able to pay for such things. We'd be out these bits, but you would be in with the bits that you were given.
What is the weight of a fucking great sword compared to a long sword? But
You can find that in the player handbook.
yeah, but Google's quicker. The weight is 6. And the long sword has the weight of 3. So yeah, no, a great sword is literally just double the weight of the fucking long sword. Let's see. Proficiencies. Can I roll a an insight into their counter offer to see if it's a fair deal or if they're trying to go and leverage themselves into a advantageous deal?
Sure.
Would be able to gain advantage on anything or a bonus or anything since I have the background in dealing with weapons? I know you're gonna hate me when I say this, but like in Baldur's Gate 3, you can get like set bonuses for having met requirements like that.
Yeah, I'm just weighing up. I'll let you double your proficiency for this roll.
Double the proficiency.
Yep.
So does that mean I gain proficiency or I get double proficiency on this roll for
You get double proficiency on this roll.
Okay. So slash R 1d20 plus standard is 2. And my actual my proficiency bonus is 10. My insight check plus double proficiency. The fuck you mean?
Slash R space 1D. Yep. Cool.
Okay, 27.
27.
Mm-hmm.
You know all too well that trying to sell secondhand weapons isn't easy, and that it's not the most fair, but it's certainly not the least unfair that he's only asking for about less than half, somewhere around 40-ish to 38% of its actual price, because at some point it will be sold, but it could sit there for a while. Though you know that there is wiggle room, you could try and barter for a little more, but that is up to you.
If I
Welcome to
barter, would
Brawl
I be able to use?
Stars.
If I barter, would I be able to use my persuasion or my charisma?
Yes, but depending on the roll, yes, but depending on what you ask for, depends how hard the check will be. So you may ask away.
Meta, this is the point in time of which Zero would immediately go and say, let's cast friends on them and immediately get it for free.
Yep.
Yeah, it's kind of this. Will work.
Oh, wait a minute. I gain advantage on price bartering. I'm finally using this.
You artifacted your mic so hard there.
Yeah.
Sounds about right. Okay, so let's see. Do, 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 do. Let's see. They wanted to give me 3,000 per sword. Yeah, it was like video games because they let you use your charisma to go and get just passive discounts. Let's see.
No, I'm not being used to.
I could hear the amount of fucking Aussie in there.
Mm-hmm.
Using I think the cat real quick. And I'm back. Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
No.
Cool.
Damn, I was gonna gaslight him. I'm just typing out so that way I know what the fuck I'm gonna say, because you know I struggle with trying to fucking remember when I'm under fucking pressure. Looking down on me under pressure.
It's pushing.
Yeah, I don't listen to that song too much. I listen to ISIS one.
Pressure pushing down on me. And that's all I fucking remember.
Yeah.
Under pressure, pushing down on me, pushing down on you. It's also the song where the dude at the start is like, "Leo, Leo, 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 Leo." He just goes on and on and on and gets the crowd to
Sounds about
try
right.
and sing with him until at some point he does this really large pipe vocal and no one can join him.
Sounds about right. Okay, Silver's going to go and say, I understand your point on this, but we can both acknowledge that just having the material, used or not, is worth its weight in gold. How about we meet more towards the middle?
Damascus is just steel. It's the technique that is important.
Meta. Shut up. It's about the meta fucking abilities that it grants. Besides, I'm not going to do anything with these two Damascus steel swords anyway. Where was I? So we're going to continue. It's worth its weight in gold. How about we meet towards the middle and instead settle for a simple trade of the great sword for the two swords, the equivalent of 5,000 gold per sword instead of the 3,000 you are offering. Meta, my initial offer was the equivalent of.
He said no to the 5,000 and getting the greatsword for the reason that he only has one Damascus.
Yes, but here's the thing. That was the equivalent of asking for 15,000 worth of gold of value from the two swords, which is 7,500. He offered 3,000 for the equivalent of the two swords, and I'm asking for only 5,000. I gave an offer that was 200. I do gain advantage because it's price bartering.
Yep.
I would check proficiency. That. Okay, there we go.
Yeah, sure. I guess.
Okay.
I was like this. You had to roll. If you rolled anything below a like
What, 30?
Yeah, anything below 30, he would have asked for a little more from that. But you rolled an at 20, so he wraps up the Damascus sword and takes the great sword and takes your two long swords, putting them behind the counter along with the other two great swords. Please enjoy your purchase.
Silver will say, thank you. As I now need to go and add the fucking.
Remember, this can be affected by rust monsters. So never use it against rust monsters. I'm having a fucking stroke over here.
On
I'm
the
trying to remember how fucking foreign is spelt.
It's with a G. And an I. And an A. No, wait, not an A, an E.
Oh, yes. because we love making words that are foreign to people who even know English.
Okay, so what rare
Hello?
uncommon writer?
Yeah.
So what's the rarity?
The rarity, it is a rare sword.
Okay.
Which, as explained, things have gotten more expensive because, the Hellhounds
War.
have locked down everything.
Mm,
Okay. And then what are the benefits of it again? It's a +2.
Yeah, it's just +2.
+2 to attack rolls and damage, or just damage?
Both. Alright. Anything else you want to do for those days, or do you want to just mill about until then?
I don't think it would do well for Silver Pride to Silver Pride.
So you're gonna mill about for those couple of days? So I have no idea what you mean by Silver Pride, Silver Pride. Also, a bat pony who is wearing what seems to be more or less ceremonial armor will find each of you and hand you a address, which is to what seems to be a royal sort of location for you to rest.
I'm guessing that was as we were leaving.
No, this is while you're out.
Hmm.
It's not hard to find a unicorn when you can fly.
Yeah. Even if he's digging around in the dirt.
And the same with Silver. Not hard to find the only Terror Hive changeling in what could very well be
Anyway,
anywhere, yes. Alright, so Silver, you are requested to meet them once more after the 3 days.
Give me a second.
1.
I'm trying to find the fucking sword. I made the item, but it's not showing up in my damn thing.
Strange.
Which I need it if I want to go and roll fucking damage. Here, maybe it'll be in this. No, it's listed as a weapon, so it should be in one of the fucking weapons. Why the fuck is it not showing up? Let me find the base weapon. Okay, equipment. There it is. Okay, finally. I fucking don't know why it was taking forever for me to go and actually fucking find it in the damn item list.
Yep. So it's good. As you are now called upon. Solo, you may join this if you wish.
Uh-huh.
And you are levitated up to a chamber that is below the one you were just at. Inside are only 4 of the members, the eldest of all of them. Before you is the Treaty of Dugout. The signatures on this treaty agree to the following. 1. Dugout will join the Untamed Empire. 2. Dugout will send a tithe of 10% earnings from the businesses within the cities and other satellite towns or villages. Dugout will send 1 able-bodied child per family to New Vegas to be trained as warriors and soldiers of the Empire. 4. The Untamed Empire recognizes all bat ponies, past and present, as natural-born citizens and natives of the Untamed Lands. 5. The Untamed Empire recognizes Dugout as a location of importance. 6. The Untamed Empire recognizes Dugout has the right to weigh in on important laws made that will affect the bat ponies of Dugout. 7. The Untamed Empire recognizes that in times of great need, that it will send forces to protect Dugout or aid in any disaster recovery efforts that may befall Dugout. 8. The Untamed Empire recognizes Dugout's right to practice its religious freedom of worshipping Nightmare Moon. 9. Dugout recognizes the right for the Untamed Empire to weigh in on legal matters that would affect the Empire and its laws. 10. Dugout recognizes the right for every Untamed Empire citizen to freely visit its capital and satellite towns and villages. 11. Dugout recognizes that if the Untamed Empire declares war on foreign land, Dugout will support the war effort. And 12. Dugout ponies who are enlisted into the Untamed Empire have army, yada yada, however you want to say that, have the right to become officers. They ain't gonna be sitting there being having the shots called by other races if they can help it.
They're not when the Tuskegee Airmen incident happened.
That is what is before you. The treaty.
The terms are acceptable.
Alright.
So we'll go ahead and sign it.
Solo, will you sign?
Sure.
Alright. And I'll leave that open for others to sign it as well if they wish to. Alright, cool. As you sign this contract, a second page appears with a direct copy. Both have a golden aura to them now, and you may take your copy.
All right, so we're going to take his copy.
Alright. So from now on, you must, if there's anything that affects the Empire, it affects Dugout. So you've got to make sure Dugout can weigh in on these situations, which means bureaucracy at its best, baby. Now you got to talk to another kingdom inside your empire.
Oh,
What does that count them as? A city-state?
It does not say that. It says
No, like what would it be like the classification when looking at it objectively? There'd be a sovereign city-state inside the empire.
They're not
That is
sovereign. They follow the laws of the empire, but they are still very much recognized as part of the empire. Like, they aren't just this little town, scoot to the left, sort of thing. They are they're very much trying to force you into some sort of mini republic where they get a voice, and so does Vegas. But so would any other towns and cities. However, that is entirely up to you if you want to go down that route. Unfortunately,
a
now you've signed it.
constitutional republic. Oh my. Well, here's the thing. Silver Pride's essentially the leader, so everything's decided by him. And they can weigh in on decisions that Silver's going to make that affect the Bat Ponies.
Yep.
And Silver gets to weigh in on any decisions that the Bat Ponies might make that would affect the Empire.
Yes. This is, say, like a royal of, say, a court you make, is found stealing or has done something that is considered a death sentence in the Bat Pony Society, you may weigh in on that and choose to take that individual out of the...
have them prosecuted under your own laws, which
Yeah.
might perhaps be more lax or more harsh on him.
And it also says that people of the Untamed Empire can go freely. So no more needing the passphrase.
It is a fair deal. Huzzah! Fair enough.
Fair. It's fair for now until it's not.
Of course not.
When you run out of the first child of every family, that is, as well. Of course, that could end up being the substandard contract for each city now, and each town.
That basically will be that's going to get fucking added in to bolster the forces. But it's also based on something that happened back in. There would be a implementation. Actually, no. Maybe we should go and encourage. Not implementation. That would be too weak. In the encouragement of having at minimum 2 children per family. Because 1, we need more soldiers for the fucking army and for the lands. But 2, because then 1 child could be donated to the cause to defend the land.
Just wait until you have everything, and then you can just be like, right, you rule. Once you finish school, you gotta go into the, you've gotta then become an enlisted.
Drafting.
Yeah. Compulsory drafting. Where everyone is ready for war, at a moment's notice.
It also means that it's a well-armed society as well.
A well-armed society is a polite society.
Exactly. If everyone's been through military training.
No, it isn't.
I mean, if everyone's been through military training.
Yeah, but a
Then
well-armed
everyone knows
society
that
is
everyone's
not
going
a
to fuck
polite.
one another up.
Yeah, but a well-armed society is not a polite society of fucking all.
You just look at America for evidence against that whole idea.
Have you seen Chicago? Willingly,
Chicago proves my point.
Chicago willingly gave up all their armaments in the name of peace and prosperity for all. So that way no one may be inclined to use these legally, constitutionally protected weapons of war to attack one another.
Dude, have you seen the state of Chicago? Ain't nothing fixing that.
You're goddamn right, it ain't.
Have you seen the entirety of America? Nothing's gonna fix it.
Yeah.
No, Americans will have to fix it. Because we're the fuckers that
too
live
many
here.
ideologies. There are millions of people in your country that believe in like essential oils will fix everything.
Oh, I know.
Millions.
You can thank women for that one.
I can deal with
white women.
I can deal with people being Amish because that's a choice of a way of life. I can allow them to do that because they won't push that on me and whatnot. But hearing fucking chicks or anyone being like, "Oh yeah, the essential oils really work," fuck off. You're almost as bad as born agains.
Sounds about right.
Born agains is so much worse, and we don't need to get into that. Anyway, so it's signed. It's the first treaty of the Untamed Empire. You'll be interested to see what sort of treaty you'll be getting Crossroads to sign. And the other locations will eventually sign stuff as well. However, we shall end the session here because